I think we're live. Yay! Let me brighten this up a little bit. Good morning. Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well today. Hi, Nicolette. Hello. So good to see your name, your face. Hope you are well today. We're tuning in from a new place that we're going to be living for the next couple months. It's a temporary situation, which is like cool and also like, that means I have to schlep a bunch of stuff, but we've landed in our new location, and that's what's important. Hi, Lacey. Hi, Jelena. Hello. Good morning. I'm still kind of getting my like how I want to make things look. I spent like the entire morning yesterday getting all the cameras set up, angled in a way I think works. So it might look this way for a little bit and then look different next week. So just prepare yourself for the rotating situation. One thing I didn't test was lights, and I started to do that today, and I was like, oh, maybe I should have done that yesterday. But but we're here anyways. We're on time. Hey, Stephanie Sakura. Hi, Shayla. Good morning. Hey. Also, cool thing, really proud of Kamar. Kamar started his first day today at his new job. So everybody just sends some like good vibrations out to Kamar. I'm so proud of him for everything he's accomplished and everything that, it took to get us here. It was our second cross-country move in 2 years. But we accomplished our goals that we set out to do 2 years ago. And so we just thought, you know what? Let's go through it again. Let's bring ourselves back to the West Coast. And I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to be near my family, excited to be near my friends, and excited to kind of get into the mix again and start doing some in-person teaching. That's my goal here. So I'm already going to be starting that this week, actually. We're going to kind of jump back into our normal weekly schedule, and I'm going to add in some live classes on Friday. So I'm going to be teaching at Soho and Hermosa, subbing those same Friday classes for my love, Miss Mar Rodriguez, at, I think it's 4:30, 5:45. Pretty sure that's the time. Hi, Stacy. That means so much to hear. Thank you. Thank you for following along. Thanks for hopping into the live stream. Let's talk about what we're going to do today. On schedule, it's a power flow. So we're going to be doing some more powerful transitions, you could say. But I'm also still kind of, coming down from being on the road. So I'm not going to go too hard. I took a class Saturday, a flow and like a trigger point therapy class. So I'm feeling a lot better. My hips and my hand, like hip flexors were feeling really angry. They're feeling much better. And I'm just going to kind of continue that. And like, it's going to be more stretchy today because I'm still, again, kind of putting myself back together. But if there's something that you want in particular, I love to always, hear what you guys are needing, feeling in your body. So if you want to take a minute, hop into chat, type a little something in there. If you're in Patreon and you're wanting to hop out, if you hover over towards like this corner where my fingers are, there should be like a little YouTube logo that you can hit, and it'll take you outside of Patreon and into YouTube so that you can interact in the chat. I just love hearing from everybody, you know, seeing what my peoples need. All the stretches, low back and hip flexors. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Body is sore and tight, Nicolette, like a rubber band. We're gonna have to put you in some hot water, make you feel al dente again. Low back. Universal low back needs. I love it. I'm with you on that. Well, let's head over to our larger scene. We'll follow along tonight. It's 1:30 p.m. in the Caribbean. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, come on back later. Join us later. You already know what's gonna come. We're gonna do lots of low back and stretching, I guess. All right. So per usual, I always like to use blocks because blocks are always like really helpful for me, at least. Again, like I said, new setup, feels a little dark. I'm gonna figure it out. Give me a couple days and this stuff will look awesome again. So we'll use our blocks and stuff, if you've got them, to start setting up in a couple of positions. I say we start seated, actually. We'll start in what's called Baddha Konasana. Y'all know that one. I love starting in bound angle because it allows me to get into my hips and into my back right away. So we'll find a seat. And also, if there's things that you're still like wanting, don't be afraid to like type it in chat and I can just peek over at it. So in your Baddha Konasana, the soles of your feet will come together, the knees will open up nice and wide. And if you feel particularly tight, like it's difficult to sit up in this position, one thing that I like to do is sit on a block. So it takes a second just to kind of get yourself up on something. You can also do that on like a bolster, a lot softer. I just don't have my bolster. My bolster is in a storage facility somewhere. So this can make you feel nice and elevated. Yeah. If you're having a different issue and you just feel like, oh, the inner thighs are really tight, it honestly feels just really uncomfortable, you can also stick blocks underneath your knees. Yeah? So whatever works, make it work. And we're gonna start by just breathing. Connecting to our bodies, connecting to this space. One of the things that I've reminded myself to do throughout this process of moving, of shifting, of uprooting my life once again, is to breathe and find home within myself and within my body. There were many years where my body did not feel like home. I mistreated my body. I was hostile towards my own body even. And doing a yoga practice, doing a movement practice was one of the ways that I made friends with myself, where I started to listen to myself, become in tune with myself. So whether or not this is a new practice for you or one of your reliable tools, we can always come back to that. Coming back to home within ourselves. We'll take 3 breaths here together. And we'll let those breaths continue, but we'll add on just a little bit of movement through your head and neck. Start to move one ear to one shoulder. Create a half moon pattern as you drop your chin towards your chest, and then move the ear towards the opposite shoulder. And back and forth you go from one side to the other. Oh my God. So this muscle, your sternocleidomastoid, the attachment underneath the collarbone, it can all get really, really tense. It connects to your jaw, connects to the temple. If you deal with headaches, if you grind your teeth, all of this can be really helpful. Now let's swoop your head over towards the left-hand side. Let's keep it there. And I want you to just explore within this space. So maybe you turn your chin up, maybe you turn your chin down. One of my friends, Pixie, recently mentioned like, hey, I tried that little trick you taught me where you open your mouth, and I had one of the most intense releases I've ever felt in my life. So if you want to try that kind of release, just tilting your chin up towards the sky, opening up your mouth like you're yawning. Oh, yeah, maybe not as intense for you, different for everybody. Let's bring it back to center and do that same thing to the other side. So we're just exploring over by the right shoulder. Maybe you tilt the chin down, maybe you tilt it up, maybe you try that open mouth yawning. And everybody's position is going to be a little different, right? We're all unique bodies having unique experiences with these universal shapes, right? Oh, my goodness. And we'll take ourselves back towards center. Now I want you to sit up as tall as you can, whether you're sitting on a block, a bolster, whatever it is. And let's start to head forwards. Don't be afraid to round your spine a little bit. That's really how I personally like to get into my low back. Nice, and then we'll ripple it back up, lengthen out through the spine. And exhale, fold back forwards. Great, let's do it one more time. Inhale, lift up. And with your exhale, fold back forwards. Stay in this fold. See if you can inch a little bit deeper. And if you're like me, I like to explore in my low back by moving my torso a little to the left, a little to the right. I can really feel that in my side back. Oof. Nice job. We'll bring it back to center. If you were on top of a block or block supported, I'm just going to scoot these to my new front. And I'm going to cross my legs. So instead of feet being together, we're going to tuck those little feet underneath you. I want you to hang on to your knees or your shin bones, whatever feels more accessible. And we're going to work through cat-cows and Sufi grinds. I'm going to turn to my side so you can see me better that way. So we'll use our inhale to lift our chest and our exhales to contract. Now, as you contract, maybe you hang on to the knees, get a nice big stretch between your shoulder blades. And we'll repeat. We'll do 2 more before we grind. I'm going to do 1 more because I'm an intuitive mover and I just like to change that up. Now meet me on your contractions. Start to move your ribs to the right, chest to the front, ribs to the left. We'll take 3 circles in one direction and then 3 in the other. Great. Once you make it to the back, let's move in the other direction. When you finish your 3rd and final, same thing, meeting in the contraction. And then I want you to just untangle your legs, placing both of your feet in front of you. Hang on to the backs of your knees, and with your core, start to roll down one backbone at a time. Nice. When you make it down, let's stretch out your legs, stretch out your arms. And I want you to arch your back, lift through your chest, feel space through the ribs and the intercostals, and then flexing maybe both butt cheeks at a time, just to feel a little activation in the back body. And we're going to do a little bit of core activation here. So I want you to bring your feet onto the ground, hip width distance or wider, and I want you to create a posterior tilt. So that means instead of your low back wanting to kind of arch away from the ground, I want you to purposefully press the low spine into the ground. That way there's space in the front body where the hip flexors are, and there is low belly engagement. Bring your hands behind your head, support the back of the head, open your elbows wide. Take a little sip of breath in, and then exhale that breath out and levitate the shoulders off of the ground. Good. Inhale, bring them back down, and exhale, lift it up. Keep going just like that. I need to put on a little bit of music for myself, a little bit of something, but you are still crunching. I can tell, I can hear you all exhaling, and I love it. Good. Down and up. Down and up. Let's do 5 more. Three, 2, and 1. Let's bring your head, neck, and shoulders down, and your arms by your side. Palms press into the ground. Wiggle your shoulders a little bit closer together so that you feel and see a lift in your chest. Now elevate your hips into bridge pose. Try to continue maintaining that posterior tilt though. Nice. Now I want you to lower a couple of inches and lift a couple of inches. We're not trying to go for like our max. We're just trying to turn on and activate the back body. One of my favorite ways to get some relief from back discomfort is doing activation in my butt and in my hamstrings. For some reason, it always works for me, because usually I get back pain when I'm doing a little bit of too much sitting, if you know what I mean. Great. We've got 5. We've got 4. Nice job, 3. Nice job, 2. And 1. Let's return your hips down to the ground. Return your hands behind your head. We're going to do a little bit of a combination here. Take your sip of breath in, and with your exhale, lift up the chest. Inhale, bring it back down. Keep the shoulders and back on the ground. Exhale, lift your hips. Nice. Return the hips down, breath in. Exhale, crunch. You're catching my drift, I think. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, hips down. Exhale, crunch. Keep going. Alternating hips, alternating abs. You've got 15 more seconds. Good. Final 8 seconds. You guys got this. Last 3. Last 2. Nice. Final 1. Let's keep just the hips up. Release the arms back down by your side body. And I want you to come up onto your tippy toes. So the heels are up. There you go. Nice job. Instead of going for pulses, we're going to try to go for outer hip activators. So walk your little toes closer together if you can. Open up the legs like a clamshell, and then I want you to go an extra inch out. Extra inch out. So you're not coming inside of those boundaries and parameters that we started with. Try to maintain your posterior tilt. Great, 15 seconds. Say good morning. Say hello to your glute medius and outer hips. We've got 8, 7, 6. Relief is coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Bring those hips back down to the ground. Keep the knees nice and wide. Bring them around the side of your ribs. Apanasana or Happy Baby Ananda Balasana. So reaching for the outside edges of your feet. Ooh. This is probably my go-to favorite thing to do in the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, in the middle of the day. I just like to drop down on the ground and do some Happy Baby. Yes, that is my hips. I promise that is not somebody knocking on the door. We've got 8 more seconds here, and then we'll start to get into it. I can feel you guys are ready for it. Once you've done your last little bit of exploration, let's bring the legs back in. Rock and roll up and down the length of your mat. Know that if at any time, if you're not vibing with rocks and rolls, maybe you're working on a hard surface or it's just not comfortable, totally skip it. Roll off to one side. Our goal is to make it into tabletop position, all 4s. So let's head there. And I want you to spread out your hands nice and wide, yeah? This is like one of my biggest secrets to just getting more comfortable in inversions and in yoga in general, because inversions aren't just headstands, handstands. Your down dog is an inversion. Your forward fold is an inversion. And in yoga, oftentimes your hands act a lot like your feet or your foundation. So we want to get them strong. We want to get them activated. So see that those hands are nice and spread out. Imagine like you have a pencil on your chest. Draw a circle between your hands. If you're feeling some discomfort on the tops of your wrists, try gripping into your fingertips a little bit. See if that helps redistribute some of that energy. Hit those circles in the other direction. Nice. We'll make your way back towards center. And then I want you to take any last wrist stretches that you feel that you need, which can be full external rotation. You can also do one at a time or both at the same time, do a pancake flip. So whatever you feel like your wrists need, I always feel like I need a little extra wrist warm up, more than your average teacher will give. I'm always doing extra credit wrist work for myself. All right. We'll make our way back towards center. Give it a little shake out if you feel like you feel a little stuck in the wrists. And then we're going to step back to a high plank. I know, high plank doesn't sound like the place you want to go. You're probably thinking, Tracy, I thought you were going to be a little bit chill today. Well, I guess this is my level of chill today. Lengthen out through the tailbone. Draw the navel in and up. Activate through your quadriceps. Push away from your mat. Here for 5. Down dog is coming in 3, 2, and 1. Let's lift your hips. Take that first downward facing dog, which can look like a lot of things. It can look like stillness. You can pedal out through your legs, whatever feels comfortable. The one thing that I do want you to focus on in your downward facing dog is working on spiraling externally through the arms. Yeah? When we're internally rotating, we're kind of rounding the shoulders towards our ears. We're missing out on a lot of strength around our lats, down into the supportive muscles around the shoulder, your subscapular muscles that need a little activation. That is really good, again, for inversions. 10 seconds here in your downward facing dog, stretching, moving, whatever you need. We'll start to move towards our Surya Namaskar A's. So in your down dog, start to, if you're moving around again, to find some stillness. Nice. All right, now with your inhale, I want you to lift up your heels. Exhale, bend into your knees and compress, chest towards your thighs. See the front of your mat, step to the front of your mat with an inhale breath. We're in a halfway lift. Your feet are hip width distance. We're trying to stretch out through your hamstrings. Good, exhale, forward fold. Let's do that a couple more times because that felt so good for me. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. And with your exhale, fold and melt. Last time, inhale, lengthen. And with your exhale, fold and melt. Now let's stay in that melty position. Maybe your hands are just dangling towards the ground. If you're like me and you want something just a little bit deeper, you're wanting to punish those hamstrings a little bit more, I like to wrap my hands around the backs of my legs, pull myself deeper. Sometimes I even like to wrap around the back, bring my little fingertips in through the front, like in between my legs. Opposite hand, opposite shin. So my wrists are crossed over each other. With this, I can really pull myself deeper and think about my sit bones reaching behind me. We'll spend one more breath here. Yeah. All right. Whatever special things you've got going on, let's release them. Let's bend into our knees. Let's roll ourselves up towards standing. When you make it up, take some of your weight into your left foot, and I want your right leg to cross behind you to the outside of your mat. So the way it kind of looks is like a setup for a curtsy squat, except we're just going to stretch out this hip flexor. So lengthen through your tailbone, keep a little bit of a bend and plie in this front leg. Arms reach up. Left hand grabs your right wrist. Let side body stretch over to your left. Nicely done. Bring it back to center. Step back to where we started. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Weight goes into your right foot. Left leg kind of crosses back and behind. It's on the outside of the yoga mat. Keep that bend in the front knee. Arms reach up. Right hand grabs for your left wrist. Lengthen out through the tailbone. Pull it over into your side body stretch to the right. Nice. Bring the torso back to neutral. Step yourself back to center. If you like to do your mountain position with the feet together, make it happen. Tailbone nice and long, palms face the front. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Reach both of your arms up, breath in. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, stepping back into a high plank position. Now step your feet out to the width of your mat. You're in a high plank but wide set. Exhale, push it back into your down dog. Again, we still have wide legs, so keep those feet straddling the edges of your mat. Let's lift the heels, roll it forward back to high plank, and exhale, slide it back to down dog. Nice. Keep going just like that, a couple of rolls. If you want the addition, because your hip flexors are feeling a little more open, when you roll forward, dip the hips down, open up the chest. It's like a wide-legged, upward-facing dog, if that makes sense. Exhale, take it up and back. I'm going to do 2 more of those, okay? Ooh, yes. Daddy, I'm alive, I'm awake. All right. When you make it back into that downward facing dog, let's stay there. Heels are going to come up nice and high again. And then let's rock both of them over to your left. So you're on your little tightrope at the back of your mat. Still thinking about down dog. I know it's a lot of conditioning for the arms and for the shoulders. They'll thank me later, I promise. Let's lift those heels up and back. Same thing to the other side. Keep thinking down dog. Let's bring it back to center. Step them back into neutral. Bend into your knees, see the front, and then let's travel to the front. Halfway lift, inhale breath. Exhale, forward fold. Good, inhale, rise up to standing, Utthita Hasta in Tadasana. Stay for that exhale, grab your right wrist. Let's side bend over to your left and bring it back to center. Same thing other side, side bend to the right and bring it back to center. Inhale, reach both of your arms up and exhale, forward fold, take it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a high plank. Pi's here. Hi, Pi. Hi. Oh my God, you're joining us for yoga. What a blessing. Oh, through the car wash she goes. Chaturanga if you want to take it. Gliding forward, bending your elbows. You can also bring your knees down for this one, okay? If your knees are down, I always like to recommend taking a low cobra. But if you're ready for your upward facing dog, feel free. Push through the feet, straighten out through the arms. I like to always stay here for a moment, really squeeze through my butt cheeks, feel the stretch in my front body, and then exhale, take it back downward facing. All right, warm up is done, friends. Let's go for it. Breath to movement, no fancy things, just your standard issue, Sun A. Lift heels, breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, Samastitihi, just arms by side body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Great, halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale, Chaturanga your way, which can also be none. Let's reset with 3 breaths in your down dog. Everything intentional. Everything back to home. Your interim breaths are as important as the next move. Let's go for it. Heels high, breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale to the front, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, Samastitihi, arms by side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Chatta. Your upward facing is a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, 3 breaths. All right, let's go for our last round. Heels high, bend your knees, look forward. Travel to the front, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands by side, body Samastitihi. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now here we're going to take a 5 breath intermission. Dig in deep to those shoulders. Keep finding your technique through your hips, through your spine, finding elongation. Heels don't have to touch the ground. Last breath like this. Nice, and then let's again travel to the front. You can walk, you can step, you can hop. Stick with hip width distance for a second. I want you to place your left hand on the ground or on a block. We're gonna go into a twist, so everybody's going to want something different here. Your left knee is gonna bend, right leg is gonna stay long. There's a little bit of sassiness in this right hip. I'm kind of leaning into it. Right arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling. Nice. Now if your shoulders are feeling it, because my shoulders want it, I'm gonna go for a half bind. So I'm just gonna bend my elbow, internally rotate so my thumb is pointing down. You can rest it on your back. I place my right hand kind of into like the inner thigh, top of my left thigh area. Great, let's stay for one more breath. And then we'll bring it back and do the same thing on the other side. Now my right knee is gonna bend, left leg is nice and long. We're gonna go for the same twist. Left arm reaches up. If you did the bind with me, internal rotation, thumb is starting to point down to the ground as I bend my elbow. I'm gonna tuck it into my right thigh, inner thigh, top of thigh. All right, nicely done. Let's bring it back. Now, if you're working with 2 blocks, I'm just gonna place them to the front of the space for when I feel like we're going to need them. Again, we're gonna rise all the way up to standing. Let's do it with a straight spine. So think like you're in your halfway lift. Rise all the way up towards standing. We're gonna bend into our right leg, lean some of the weight there, and we're gonna step back into a high crescent position. So you got to hinge forward. This is just body mechanics, yeah? We're in our high crescent. Nice. Now we're going to do a little bit of leg work in here today because again, anytime my back is feeling upset, I like to do a little bit of body weight work and focused leg work. All right. So from here, notice I got a little bit of bend in my back leg, a little bit of a posterior tilt. Let's undo that. So straighten your back leg, undo that posterior tilt, lean forward, load up the front thigh, reach both of your arms back behind you. Nice. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, swing the arms back, lean forward. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean forward, reach those arms back behind you. Bring it up one more time. Inhale. Exhale, let's open twist to the right. Bring that bend back into your back leg. That way you're feeling nice and stacked. The shoulders feel like they're over the hips. Great. Hip flexors are gonna love it. Exalted warrior. Right hand to your hamstring, left arm reaches up and back. The amount you back bend is up to you. Nice. Now stay in this shape. Come back up through your torso, and then let's take the left hand down to the ground. It can also come onto a block for this revolved low lunge. Right arm is reaching up. Nice. Let's bring your left knee down to the ground. Sweep the right leg back behind you into a modified side plank. Great. Now I would love to do again some more hip flexor stuff. So let's pop up this right leg, bend the right knee, capture the top of your right foot. So you're in a modified partridge pose position. Maybe you're feeling it here. Maybe you really focus on the length of your tailbone and or kick that leg behind you so you make this more back bended. Nicely done. Keep the bend in the knee. Just release that leg. Come back to all fours. Nice. We're in a tabletop position, but with your leg bent. Let's flex that right foot. Extend through the leg nice and long. Good. Bring the bend back in. Knee, thigh stays in one place. Extend. Do you feel your butt cheek and your hamstring activating? That's what I want. If you're feeling it in your back, try to push away from the ground. Good. Extend. We've got 5 more just like this. Good. 3. Nice. 2. And 1. Extend your leg, point your toe. Now bring your right knee towards your chest, round the spine. That should feel really nice after that. Tuck your left toe, so that's your opposite foot. Lift the left knee, lengthen the left leg. Let's go into 3-legged dog. Open up your hip, bend into your knee, explore. Oh my God. You guys, my left leg, what the hell? Ooh. All right. Let's bring ourselves back to down dog. We'll again transition ourselves back to the front. Oh. We're going to lengthen through our spine once more. We're going to rise all the way up with that nice flat spine. Now we're going to take our weight into our right foot. We're going to do all of that on the other side, okay? So, left leg lifts. Our good body mechanics, we got to bend. We got to hinge forward. We got to step back. High crescent. Wait. Silly knee, other side. You're in your left foot. I was like, why do I feel like I just did this? Maybe because you did just do it. All right. Right foot is at the back. Left foot is at the front. Tracy's back. Back knee has a little bit of a bend. You've got your nice posterior tilt going on there. Arms are reaching up. Take your breath in. Great. Exhale, lengthen. Undo that posterior tilt. Reach both of your arms back behind you. Nice job, everyone. Inhale, reach it back up. Oh, I see Beatrice. Hi. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Denisha. Oh my God. Guys, I'm just seeing the names. Ugh. I miss you all so much. I'm still moving. I'm just talking. Blah, blah, blah. Inhale, bring it back up. All right, we've got our bend in our back knee because we're going to do that twist, yeah? Reaching left arm back, right arm forwards. Here we are. Yay! Open revolved high lunge. I love this one. Now, if you took it into your hip flexor with me, we're doing exalted warrior. My left hand comes to my hamstring. Right arm is going to reach up. Oh, say hello to that right hip flexor, babies. Nicely done. Let's bring the right hand all the way down to the ground. We're staying in this same plane, so we're staying open. Revolved low lunge. Great, take one more little breath here. Let's bring your right knee back down to the ground. We're spinning, we're swooping. Hello. We're in our modified side plank. I like it so much more than regular side plank. Now, if you did that extra credit work through your hip flexor with me, left leg lifts, knee bends, it comes towards you. Let's capture that foot. Great. Maybe you just stay here, your quad screeches. Or if you're like, yeah, I want more than that, kicking the leg behind you. So it's a bit of a back bend. Oh my God. Oh, and my right butt is like clenching now. All right. Now I want you to keep the bend. Just release the foot. Bring yourself back to tabletop position, but with that floating left leg. Yeah? Flex it, lift it, push into the ground. So keep that core engaged. Lengthen out through the legs. Say hello to your butt and hamstrings this morning, and then bring it back in. Nice. Extend and rebend. Extend and rebend. Ugh. I got to get myself back ready for bar, you guys. Yeesh. Last 5. Last 4. 3. I have to just always give myself a taste of my own medicine sometimes, you know? Last one, let's point that left foot. Good. Energy, energy. Knee to nose. Contract. That should feel great on your low back. Tuck right toes. Lift right knee. 3-legged dog. It's like there's a demon in my right hamstring. It needs to be exercised. I thought I just like stretched everything out. Apparently not. All right, kiddos, do whatever you need to do here. We're almost done with class. We're just gonna do like one more little piece, and then we're done with it. Monday conquered, Monday done for. All right, let's take it back to your downward facing. I want you to step your feet a little wider, walk your hands back towards your feet, and I'm gonna give you an option for a couple of things. Either you're gonna fold, give yourself a little relief for your back, yeah? You can also get deeper into the hips and back with malasana, yeah? Love this one. To me, it's one of the healthiest things you can do for your hips or back. I know it's a challenging shape for a lot of people. So if that's the case for you, things that you can do, roll up your little mat, give yourself some support through the heels. Grab your block, stick it under your butt, sit on your little block stool. Or if you're like, yo, this just is not the shape for me today, that's totally fine. That can be the option too. Now I know usually when we're doing this shape, I'm always teaching it like, okay, I need everybody to lengthen their spine as much as they can, lifting, elongating. But I also like to break the rules, lean forward and stretch my low back. All right, kiddos. Ugh. Let's bring ourselves back up. And we're gonna make our way back to the front of our mat, but of course we can't just do it some willy-nilly whatever way. Right, Pi? We need to give the kids some challenging, fun ways to do that. So, here are your options now that you have just seen a nice dose of Pi board hole. You can do frog hops to the front. You're already set up for it if you're in Malasana. You can just walk and hop, walk and hop. You can also, from that position, basically hop into like a handstand, come back down, hop up into a handstand, come back down. I don't feel like it today. If you're just in your forward fold at the back of your mat, I want to challenge you to elephant walk if you can. Same foot, same hand. Same foot, same hand. You can also do this with blocks if the ground is just hella far from you. We love it. We love to see it. Just make your way to the front some creative new way. And then we're all going to head all the way back up to standing and go through this flow with a couple O changes. Because it's our last 15 minutes of class. Oh my God. All right. My hip flexors need a little TLC after that. So we're gonna take it around town. Here's how we're gonna do it. You know that episode of SpongeBob where he takes it around town? That's what we're doing. Just big hip circles. And other direction. Whee! We'll do 2 more. I switched directions. Don't know if I said it. I thought it, and I thought I just would telekinesis all of you to do it too. And once we make it back, we'll get those feet underneath our hip flexors. Yay! We're going to do the same thing. We're going to step back to our high crescent. Huh, huh, huh. Arms reaching up. Yay. Maybe you got a little more depth in this one. Yeah, that's going to be my challenge for you. All right, I'm going to add on a couple pieces, but you guys got this. Take your breath in. Exhale, lean forward. Ooh, look at that depth. Inhale, reach back up. I feel like I'm doing silhouette yoga. When I'm looking at it on the screen, I'm like, I did a terrible job lighting myself today. All right, bring those arms back up. You can also place them on your hips. Bring a little more bend into that knee. Take it down, up, down, up. Total of 8. So you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come back to heart center, right? Earlier we did that open twist. Now we're going to do a compressive twist. Left elbow, see if you can place it on your right thigh. Back leg goes nice and long. Try to work that rotation. Now, earlier in class I was offering some binds and stuff. You can do a half bind here as well. You can also do a full bind, really difficult. Left arm comes under the body. If you're feeling like you have to pee or if you ate a little too much before class, this probably won't be the one for you. You'll feel like you'll pee yourself or puke. Great, wherever you are, holding it, binding, whatever you are, we're here for 3. Here for 2. Nice. And 1. Let's place our left hand to the ground. We're going to go back into a modified side plank or a full side plank. So whatever your little heart desires today. If you're going for that modified version, your left knee comes down right away. Life is good. You can do whatever you want here, throwing in another partridge. If you're in your full side plank, what I want to offer up for you today is bringing your right knee in, yikes, kicking out through that leg. Ooh, hello, been a minute. Last 3, great, last 2, and 1, let's release that. Head through your high to mid plank. We're not doing any of that butt stuff we were doing earlier. We're just living life. Great. Now from this downward facing dog, let's make our way back to our front. Nice flat spine, bring yourself up. And we're going into side 2. We're almost done. Left foot is that foundation. Right foot is going to step back. This is the final piece of the puzzle, my friends. Arms are up. Take your breath in. Again, maybe you're going for a little more depth on this one. Lean forward, reach the arms back. Yeah. This is the power portion of class. I'm just saying. If your thighs are screeching, that's why. Inhale up. Nice. Exhale back. Now let's bring it back towards center. Hands are going to come towards heart, right? Instead of our open, we're going for our compressive twist. Right elbow to left thigh. I want you to feel like your chest is kind of working away from the thighs. I know it's really easy to kind of dump into it, but I want you to push away from it. Now if you did some binds, we're binding up again. Full, half, none, whatever you did on side 1. Nice job. I know I forgot the pulses, so I'm gonna bring them back, I promise. We're here for 3. We're here for 2. Nice. And 1. Let's bring it back up. Ooh. We're going down and up. 2, 3, just 5 more. Oh my God. My left side feels so weak. Ooh, 3. Nice. 2. And 1. Let's take the right hand down to the ground. Now you can go again into your modified, your full, whatever you want. If you chose that modified, you did your partridge again, cool. If you're with me in your full side, maybe you go for your Padagustasana. It's been a minute for the TL. Here for 3. For 2, oh my God. And 1, let it go. Head through your last chaturanga. That I can promise. And then we'll head into down dog and straight into child's pose. Like I mentioned at the very beginning of class, that sense of coming home to your body, retethering yourself to your body, reconnecting to your body. As somebody that has spent a lot of time disconnected, these are the moments, even though it took a little windy, difficult road to get here, where we can really appreciate, express gratitude for ourselves, our bodies for bringing us to this very moment in time in our lives, and even just through this little class. Let's walk ourselves up from here. Take some breaths. And then let's sit off to one side and head back into our Baddha Konasana like we started in. We're going to use this shape as a basis to get into either our deer pose or our half pigeon. We won't spend a lot of time because I want to end us on time. So I'm going to lean towards my right hand side, and then my left leg will come behind me. Yeah? External rotation on the right leg, internal rotation on the left. Torso angles over the right thigh. It's a nice little hip opener if you're feeling tight. If you're feeling really good in your hips, you just do a little more wiggling, rolling, rotating, straightening out through the left leg. Now, instead of trying to shove this right foot forward, my suggestion is to anchor it with your left hand and scoop backwards for more depth. That way we're protecting your joints, protecting your tendons. Personally, I'm going to stay elevated for these last couple breaths because we're not spending too much time here. But if you went down, no worries. We just have 2 more breaths. All right, let's bring ourselves back to center. Woo, woo. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side, right? So we're back in our Baddha. We'll lean to our left. Deer. Love this shape, never fails me. Or you rotate all the way through to your half Pidgey. Oh. My goodness. Now again, if you feel like this left leg needs to come further forwards, instead of shoving, just anchor and scoot back. It'll be much better for your joints, the tendons and the ligaments. We want to protect those. They're much less malleable than our muscle tissue. All right. Now instead of coming all the way back to center, I'm facing my front. So I'm just going to bring my right leg back with me. And I want us to come to kneeling. I'm going to give myself some padding. I would like to end with Ustrasana, camel pose. Blocks can be mega helpful for this bad boy if your back and hip flexors are being cranky even still to this moment. Toes tucked. Support your low back. Start to lift your chest. See the ceiling. Maybe you lean back, find those blocks. Maybe you find your heels. Now, if you did that depth, I want you to still push the hips forward. They want to be over the knees. Head can fall back. Nice. Let's bring it back up, re-support. Sit your hips onto your heels. Hands can be on your heart, hands can be on your belly. And this space right here can be your final resting spot. If you would like to lay down for your final rest, if you would like to sit cross-legged for your final rest, find what serves you, find what speaks to you. Meet yourself there. Again, remembering that feeling of home. Returning to yourself. We'll take 10 more breaths here. Now, as you finish off that 10th and final breath in that cycle, let the following breath get deeper. Maybe you have to sigh something out. Exhale with a little more vivaciousness behind it. Friends, thank you so much for the honor of teaching your body. Thank you for trusting me as your teacher today. I hope the rest of your Monday, the rest of your week is wonderful. I hope you feel nourished. And I hope you continue to nourish yourself for the rest of today. Hydrating, eating, resting. Wonderful. Wow. Look at us go. Squeaky chair. Hope you're feeling great. So, before we part ways, this class is back on. I can't tell you how much it means to have so many people show up after the time off that I had to take in order to move myself. It really means a lot. Wednesday, we're back. Skills and drills. It's a 30-minute quick class that focuses on benchmark movement. So benchmarks being your back bends, your arm balances and splits. Haven't decided what we're working on this month because I'm just getting my shit together. Thanks, Lacey. Thanks, Stephanie. Thursday, we'll have beginners class. So that's a 45-minute class that's really tailored to taking a beginner's perspective on movement, whatever kind of movement that is. That can be yoga asana, it can be Pilates, it can be restorative movement. And then no weekend classes this week, but I am teaching in person. So if you are near around the Los Angeles area, I'll be teaching 2 hot classes on Friday. First one being a yoga sculpt. So that'll be at 4:30. Second one is a power flow at 5:45. Oh, thanks, Lacey. I missed you. Nicolette, it's so good to be back. Beatrice, thank you. Oh my God, it means so much to see your face, see your name right there. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Ashley. If you're able to come to that Friday class, it is booking up really quickly. Let me look at the numbers right now, because if you want to come to that one, it's really important to get booked in. Okay, yeah, so for the sculpt, there's only 6 more spots left. And then for the power flow, there are 16 spots left. So still a decent amount, but it does kind of, you know, by the end of the week, it kind of gets a little crazy. So if you want to come, please come. It would be great to see you in person if that's possible. Thank you, Miss Shayla. It's wonderful to be home. I already got to see my sister, my mom, my brother-in-law, and I'm going to start, you know, peeking in on some of my friends, and it really feels right to be here, you know. Proud of myself, proud of my partner Kamar and all that he's done. Really feels like a new chapter is beginning, a bigger, better chapter. So I'm excited to experience it, see where it takes me. Pi is here. Do you guys want to see Pi? Pi survived the trip. And you did so good, too. Yeah, you were such an angel the whole time. Oh, you were just an angel baby. Being so good. Thanks, Beatrice. Yeah, it means a lot to be so close to all the things that fuel my creativity, you know? Hi, baby pie. I'm gonna go get you more litter today because we're almost out. She's just a baby. She's doing like the tail whippy thing where she like whips it around my body. See if she does it. Just a baby floof. Oh, look at your pretty eyes. You're so pretty. You're so blessed. You're back home too. You're an LA cat. That's how I found you. All right, you guys. I gotta go run some errands, get some things, put this back together. It's weird going back to a like, oh yes, I used to have a dedicated streaming space. Now it's the living room. So I have to like slide things in, slide things out, but not too bad. So yeah. Hope to see you at some point during this week. If not in person, digitally, but I'll be back next Monday. Same thing, same channel. Everybody have a blessed, wonderful day. Thank you for coming and letting me teach you again. I so look forward to seeing you guys back in classes. It really makes me feel like all is right again. Thanks, Jolena. I will send those to him. All right, my lovely creatures. See you next time. Thank you for coming.